Do you want to learn to restore and reconnect your relationships? Do you want to live the happiest life you could ever dream of? Do you want to create wealth? It all starts with the right mindset. Elizabeth Lucas of Olalu has a tremendous amount of wisdom to share to assist you in living your best life possible. She is an award-winning inspirational and transformational speaker, writer, coach, and entrepreneur extraordinaire who inspires people worldwide with her personal story. For many years, her passion has been inspiring and empowering and transforming lives and relationships for her clients. Mindset is everything. Elizabeth believes everyone can become, achieve, be fulfilled, be successful, and be happy with the right positive mindset. Also, having the right attitude, resilient and willing to change, are important aspects of personal growth. Living life with determination, diligence, and having positive thinking and working hard can lead to a successful life you never dreamed of. She believes people can build deeper and healthy relationship with awareness of greater love, better understanding of ourselves and others, marriage and positioning. And it is possible to rebuild, reconnect broken trust and relationship, promoting and empowering relationship and family. In her businesses, she enjoys coaching, mentoring, and supporting women, young married couples, and young adults. She believes this can transpire in relationships, families, friendship, success, and prayer. She also has a company in which she creates personal, intentional, and inspirational customized gifts. She has created thousands of unique and unusual, memorable, creative, personalized, and inspirational gifts for all tastes and budgets. Elizabeth Creations has taken the idea of creative gifts to a whole new level, with the innovative concept of actually buying minutes of time from the past, present, or future. Elizabeth has a motivation and passion for business which led her to obtain honors degree in business and management at University of Northampton, United Kingdom. Elizabeth has worked with several organizations in various fields, and she is actively involved with and supports several NGO/charity, and for all her contributions and involvement, she was awarded Inspiration and Relationship Award, Legend Award for Community and Humanity. Currently, she is the Managing Director of Elizabeth Creations Limited, Director of Tokens Limited, founder of YYCI International. She is the UK Chief Bureau Editor of an American magazine, Oakens Group magazine, and an exceptional award-winning author of Yes, You Can. Featured in national press, NBC, ABC, and Fox News, other magazines including Business Magazine. She is also an acclaimed author who writes in her book how she has failed several times and bounced back, overcome all adversities, challenges, financially, physically, emotionally, abuses, and trauma, and come up stronger. She has turned all her situations from impossible to possible and from negative to positive, and believes anyone can do too, and she is determined to help others as well. One of her missions is to support youths, women, families, individually, locally, and internationally, offline and online, through media and resources, gifts, products, workshops, seminars, and speaking engagements to change their mindset, discover, develop, manifest their gift, build deeper relationship, and maintain, restore, and reconnect relationship and families, manage their emotions, and be free and be happy, learn to forgive themselves and others, learn to love themselves and love others, create roadmap for the youth for the future. Her latest book, Yes, You Can, is about her personal experiences and stories and how she used simple principles to become who she is today and what she has achieved so far. Also, how her personal life and her relationships have been transformed. She is a living testimony, and permit her to share some of what people have testified about her in her book. In all her businesses and business ventures, Elizabeth puts forth her own inspirational personal touch. This makes her unique talents and products motivational tools that everyone can benefit from. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you so much for listening to the introduction of Elizabeth Lucas of Falalu. So let me start today with this statement. 4 factors that can limit and stop us from fulfilling our purpose, for stopping us to be happy, for stopping us not to achieve our goals, and also for stopping us not to succeed in life and to be transformed in our relationship, our leadership, and even in our entrepreneurship. These are the 4 factors that I have also reasoning with, and that is ignorance, lack of understanding, lack of vision, unknown of our identity of who we are, our purpose, and also our why. And that is the moment of the truth.
And that is the main reason why YYCI Academy presents masterclasses regularly, so that we can gain more knowledge and we can get a better understanding. And from there, we can also set a goal, have a vision, dream big, and we are also need to have our, to be aware of our identity, who we are, our purpose, and our why. But everything in life requires hard work, dedication, commitment, honesty, integrity, and also gratitude, to be grateful of everything we are becoming, achieving, and even in our dark moment, in our low moment, we can still give God the praise. Because you know why? No condition is permanent. It's just a phase, and we are seeing through it. And when we overcome our challenges, we become wiser, stronger, and better, and also be able to face other challenges in life. And that is the moment of truth. But first thing first, you need to become a life learner, because learning is living, and learning should be lifelong. All the great leaders out there, all the successful entrepreneurs, and even the government, the head of state, the doctors, the lawyers, they are all learners. And that is why we need to cultivate the habit of learning and not stop learning. However, curiosity will keep you thirsty for more. And no matter your level of education, you should never stop learning. In this section, we've been teaching about transforming relationship, mindset for transforming relationship, any relationship. Yes, we might be focusing on your relationship with your partners, with your spouse. We might be focusing on relationship within the working environment. We might be talking about the relationship between even your customers and even with the civil servants. Relationship is still relationship everywhere. And that is why it is so important that we keep learning more on relationship. Why? Because Angie Simama said, and I quote, "A thirst for knowledge is something that can never be quenched and should be a lifelong quest." So discover what you can capable of doing. Discover who you are. Discover your gift and your talent. Discover your purpose on earth, and even why you are doing what you are doing right now. You need to discover all and keep yourself in a growth mindset, because when there is growth mindset, you are installing more information into your mindset, and then the information, either negative or positive, good or bad, will influence your life, and it will influence others that are around you, because your information that you have stored in your mindset will definitely create a system, your belief system. And what you believe is what you will become. What you take action on is what you will achieve. Whatever you do now will reflect of tomorrow. Whatever you have installed in your mindset before this day is what you are acting on now. What are you thinking about? It depends on what is in your mindset. And that is why we need to be in control of the informations that you are storing into your mindset. All our dreams can come through if we have the courage to pursue them by Walt Disney. And like I always tell my mentees, dream big. If your dream doesn't scare you, you need to dream again, because greatness is in you, and because you are special. You have a purpose on earth to fulfill, and you have the solution to somebody else's problem. So, mindset is everything. And without renewing your mindset, either in the areas of relationship, leadership, entrepreneurship, education, without you renewing your mindset, there will be no transformation. And that is why I stand on this platform to say to you, keep moving, and keep increasing your knowledge, updating your information to store in your mindset. Because whatever you know is whoever you will become. Whatever you know will determine your speed. Whatever you know will determine the association you find yourself. And whatever you know will determine how quality your performance and your product and your service is. Okay. But wisdom is the principal thing. And in all our getting, we get understanding, better understanding of life, which lead you to better and quality performance. And to fulfill your purpose in life, we always start by personal development, self-actualization, self-assessment, and self-love. If you can develop all this, if you can work on all this, then be guaranteed that your leadership style will be influenced. Your business, how you do your business, your entrepreneurship will be different. How you even influence others will be different. And how you become a great leader in the society will be different. But it is not too late to change. It's not too late to transform. And it's not too late to stand out. Always have a focus of you being distinguished as a leader. And that is why it is so important that we keep building ourselves up. We keep getting ourselves better. And we also can demonstrate who we are in the lives of others by relating with them effectively. That is why it is so crucial, this topic and this masterclass of relationship. Also, you need to examine the situation around you, the challenges you are facing with critical thinking. Don't shy away from it. Don't run away from challenges. Change your mindset to see that there will always be a solution to each problem. There will always be a solution to each challenge, and you can overcome them if you have the right information that makes you to think critically. And the same way you can find solution with your creative thinking. So that is why it is so important that we walk through this journey together. We are here and we have written so many books last year, and even myself as well, on the love we lost. Yes, you can build your relationship, and also relationship matters, where more than 100 people gathered, contributed to these such books of how to solve conflicts, how to maintain and keep our relationship. Very, very important. So if you want to get any of our books, you can get it from www.amazon.com or www.amazon.co.uk. And if you want to get them, maybe you don't have the Amazon link, you can also get it direct from us. So you can email yyci.academy@gmail.com. Okay, now we need to go to my own lecture today. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be a wonderful day. It's not going to be a beautiful day, and we are going to learn many things today. So this will be the part 2 of what I started yesterday. Mindset for transforming relationship and love. Forgiveness is very, very important. And that is why I am going to be sharing with you today on mindset. So let me open my camera and then we start it off. Let me first of all check all the informations or any other things written. Okay, thank you so much, Ambassador Joseph, for also contributing to what we are discussing today. All right. Thank you so much to all our listeners as I continue my teaching, which I started yesterday on forgiveness. Thank you also. I welcome Ambassador Comfort, Ambassador Colleague, Ambassador Mary, Ambassador Joseph, and Ambassador Lukman, my PA. Thank you for joining me also on this Zoom. And I want to believe that others will join us as we move on. Okay, let me start with my topics today. Mindset for transforming relationship and love. And I'll be talking about forgiveness. Again, yes, forgiveness. But before I move on, I will say this. A successful relationship is often the first step towards successful career. So we need to make sure that we commit to our relationship long game, said by Rebecca Thompman. I have a questions for all of you today, okay? And the question is, I have so many questions to ask and I want you to think because we want to think. We want to have a critical thinking in motion now. Because if by the time you answer all these questions in your mind, the answer is yes, then you are in the right platform. And I can guarantee you by the time we finish this section today, you'll be able to gain more knowledge. And then you'll be able, your questions might be answered on this platform. And also you will experience a transformation and see the better picture of what this forgiveness is all about. Did someone break your heart? Did someone betray, teach, or cheat, or humiliate you? Have you been disappointed before? Or discouraged in loving or caring? How do you feel when you were disappointed? You can write your answers down on the chat box, What did you do when you experienced disappointment? What did you do? Even if it is negative, just be honest to yourself. Did someone break your heart again? And did someone betray or cheat and humiliate you? Again, question. I just want you to have this in mind. How many of you have been yourself in this situation of lost love, lost trust, discouraged, disappointed, betrayed, and saying to yourself, I can never love again. I can never trust anybody. Everyone are just the same. How many of you have felt disappointed and concluded that there is no even love? Do you want to learn how to let go and rise above the situation of disappointment? And how to communicate your expectations and feelings? How to build trust and start all over again? How to reconnect, rebuild, reunion, restore, and rebuild relationship, marriage, family, and even partner. Do you really want to learn all these things? Do you want to start all over again? Do you want to build your trust? Do you want to understand life better? Because if your answer is still yes, then you are in the right platform. But the moment of truth again is the only way to live happily, peacefully, and harmony with one another in this world is for everyone to admit it, that we are all different. We are all not perfect. We are all making mistakes, and we have the right to make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. We are all have the ability to choose our traditions, religions, religion, way to serve God, way to do things, our culture, our differences, and even respect one another. We are all have the ability to choose, to have our right, to exercise our right, and better understanding bring peace and unity and love. Okay, but from my own past and present experiences, I became strong to know that forgiving someone does not mean it didn't happen. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily resume trust, and just do your part towards reconciliation. I know through experience, when we choose to forgive and allow that to work within our heart, cutting off every place where anger, hurt, bitterness, fear, thoughts of self-pity or self-righteousness to rise up, then the event becomes nothing but a memory. We find ourselves free of all emotional attachment to it if we learn and practice forgiveness and forget and move on. Everyone has suffered one source of emotional hurt through the words and actions of another. Every one of us on the platform, we have suffered it. We've been a victim of it. People talked us down. People abused us. People, people yell on us. People spoke negative about us. They destroyed us in the public. They destroy our names, our personalities. People say it in front of us, you are rubbish, you are stupid. I'm sure we've all gone through all this. Even the problem is that is even worse is your most lovable, the person that you're so close to you. We also do the same. Experiencing this hurt is completely natural. But sometimes the hurts last longer than it needs to be. And this is harder to be happy. You can't be happy in that situation. Even when you are trying to be it, even when you are trying to fake it, even when you are trying to pretend that all is well, it's still there. The stigma is still there. And you are not happy. You know yourself that you are not happy. And if we can't let go and move on, it can ruin our relationships. It can affect our performances. And it can even damage our lives. And imagine influencing others with negativity of yours, with emotions, with unforgiveness. In every challenge of life, there is always storms. So it's better for us to understand that even as young as we are, there are ways to come out of those storms. And that is why you need to be attending master classes like this, reading books, watching videos, listening to tapes, learn from your mistakes, and learn from others. Situations are not permanent. There are always movement. However, storms can force you to change and become. It depends of the information. It depends of your willingness that want to change. It depends on your level of determination. But all things are possible, and yes, you can transform your lives. People have also got used to hiding from their emotions and to letting them govern their lives uncontrollable, which leads to many unresolved conflicts, inner and with others, to sending mixed messages to the people around them, and to numerously linger issues waiting to be resolved, which rarely happens. Because of this, the person who is in touch with their emotions, who knows how to control and understand them, and who is able to discharge themselves from these feelings, is often viewed as stable and professional and reliable partner or husband in business or even in private life. And that is the more reason why we should keep studying about it. Because they don't allow emotions to rule their lives. Imagine with all the things that I have gone through for many years, if I let that emotions, that unforgiveness, that my bad and negative feelings to ruin my life, I won't be standing or sitting in front of you sharing this inspirational gift of wisdom. And we can do it. Because if I can, if others can, then you can. Fight flare. It's not disagreement that destroy relationship, but how you deal with them, said by Dr. Phil of Oprah fame, saying the following about fighting fear. Disagreements are going to occur, whether you like it or not. Disagreement, betrayal, discouragement, desire, denial, everything will come. It will occur. You can shy away from it. It's part of development. But the question is, do you go into it with a spirit of looking for resolution? Or do you go into it with the spirit of getting even vengeance, control? Relationship is not a competition. It's a partnership. Some of the tips we offer for fighting fear are the following. These are taken from Dr. Phil's book. Know what you are trying to achieve in relationship. That's why I have to say to you, sometimes you need to know, why do you want to relate with this particular person? Why? Why do you want to relate with this country? I mean, with this company? Why do you want to collaborate with them? Why do you want to build your relationship with that person? Why do you want to be in the circle of these people? Why do you want to associate with certain person? Why? You need to know your why. Then the second one, what do you want to achieve from this relationship? What do you want to achieve? Then put boundary around the discussion so that you don't end up arguing about the negative things that has ever happened in your relationship. Avoid character assassination. And always be ready to listen. Practice active listening. When other person is speaking, listen. And when you are speaking, don't impose your own opinions and ideas. You can share it. You can say it, but you can impose it. Because every one of us are unique. We are intelligent. We are clever. We are blessed. Try paraphrasing to make sure that you understood what the other person has said, and ask for clarity if there is something that you are not clear about. In terms of communication, set a time limit and be willing to compromise sometimes. But your compromising must be limited and for a purpose. Reach an agreement on how you're going to solve the problem. And strong relationship don't just happen. You have to build it up. You have to be committed to it. In a nutshell, sometimes life just gets to be a little too much, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. Whether it be expectation from your boss, your colleagues, your friends, your family, or other half, or your husband or spouse, or even the sky-high expectations you have of yourself occasionally, might be another problem. It all comes to a head, and you are left feeling like you are not good enough. In times like this, it can be difficult to gain the perspective of you. So sorely need to pull yourself out of that terrible slump. Here are some to remember that should get you well on your way to feeling better. So allow me this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are, to share quickly my inspirational nuggets of wisdom. Now that you have listened to the moment of the truth, then how can we move forward? How can we break loose? How can we break the barrier where we found ourselves? How can we come out of our feelings, our emotions? How can we come out from that comfort zone where you have kept yourself for a long just because you have a spirit of unforgiveness? How can we break free from fear? Being afraid to speak, being afraid to relate again, being afraid to start all over again, being afraid to trust, being afraid to love. How can you break that barrier and free yourself? That's what I need to share with you again. My inspirational nugget of wisdom. Number one, this too shall pass. Whatever you are going through now is not for permanent. It's just for a short period. It shall end and it shall pass. As glint as it sounds, no matter how terrible you feel right now, how desperate your situation may currently seem, it's just a fleeting moment in your life. While it may seem as though your world is ending, you might feel like that, oh my God, my world is turning upside down. Trust in the fact that the sun will rise again tomorrow and shine new. Awful light on you and your predicament. Sorry. Let me repeat that again. When you feel like the world is turning upside down and you cannot see anything good out of it, and you are surrounded with negativity, and it looks like, oh my God, is that the end of the world? Or you feel like, oh my God, it looks like I'm nobody. Always, always trust in this fact that the sun will rise again tomorrow, and that sun of yours, you will shine. And you will be hopeful light on you and your predicament. So always know that the sun will rise again. You are the light of the world, so your light will shine. You are the hope for somebody else. You are the hope for somebody somewhere in every corner of this country, in this world. Always know that when there is life, there is still hope. It might be tough today, but that is not the end of it. That's not the end of life. It could look like there's no way out. But I'm just assuring you today that the two shall pass. The second one is, no one can do better than you. You are unique. You are special. And because there is not a single person out there who is like you are the original. You are blessed with unique attributes that make comparing yourself to anyone else not only futile and discouraging, but also, quite frankly, impossible for not any other person to be you. No one has lived the life you've lived. No one. So no one is better equipped to tackle that challenges except you. Remember this. Whenever you catch your subconscious trying to convince you that you are not as worthy as someone else, always remember you are special. The greatness is in you, and you can rise above that situation. Even if the spouse or your friends or your family, your relatives, or even anybody talk to you and say you are nobody, always know yourself and say to yourself, I am somebody. I am great. I have greatness in me. The next one is, this challenge will only make you stronger. I've said it several times. That's the more reason why you should face that challenge, deal with that challenge, overcome that challenge, find a way to overcome it. If you have to read books, read. If you have to study, study. If you have to go for seminars, go for seminars. If you have to seek for professional counseling, go for it. Pastoral counseling, go for it. If you want somebody to pray with you, yes, you are still in charge of that challenges. If you have to speak out, speak out. If you have to cry out, cry out. Even though you may feel broken and bruised now, you will recover from the ordeal a more resilient person. When we get injured, the scar tissue that develops to mend our damaged skin is stronger than you could ever imagine. It's the same for your heart and soul. Trust in your ability, and you have the ability to overcome every challenges of life. You just have to believe it. And that's why we are sharing this inspirational nugget of wisdom for you to store it in your mindset and believe it and act on it. Say to yourself, you are untouchable. You are unstoppable. You are special. You are unique. Created by God, the universe. Say to yourself, greater is me, that the greater is he that is in me than he that's in the world. You were made in the likeness of God. So it's very important. So this challenge will only make you stronger and wiser and knowledgeable and clever. Celebrate your failures. They are just a lesson. Yes, you failed. Yes, you make mistakes. Yes, you fail. Millions of people will tell you that. They will remind you of your failures. They will remind you of your mistakes. They will remind you what you have done before. But as the wonderful Oprah Winfrey says, think like a queen. Think like a king. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is another step to greatness. When terrible things happen, either on our own doing or otherwise, it can be difficult to see the forest for the trees. However, in every failure or negative moment, there is a lesson to be learned. So if you have failed in your marriage, in your relationship, there's a lesson to learn. Because if you don't give yourself time to learn those lessons, you will continue to be failing. Even if you leave this relationship and go to another relationship, if that lesson is learned from what has happened with the first relationship, you will carry on with it. The problem, the mistakes, you will carry on with it in the next one, the next relationship. So take heart and have faith in the heart that thanks to this experience, always be grateful that you had the opportunity to be tested. You had the opportunity to experience it. Because if you can look at the positive side of it, you will become better, equipped, wiser, stronger to be able to solve the problem and also be able to help others to solve their problem. The next one, you are good enough to try. And that's all what you need. Now that you know that failures should be celebrated and not to be feared, not to be feared away or afraid of, the time has come to realize that everything you've accomplished up till now and everything you have achieved henceforth come from you taking a leap of faith and try. So going to down on your system, belief system. No matter how convinced you are that you are going to fail, make the attempt. It's the most important part of any endeavor and the only one that is really asked of you. Because you are not perfect. Let your spouse told you that yes, you make mistake. Always encourage your spouse to say, yes, I make mistakes today, but if I learn from that mistakes, I will become better tomorrow. It's a matter of communication and how to communicate it at the right time to your spouse, to your friends, to your relatives, to your husband, and even your children, your parents. We all make mistakes. Majority, we want to blame their parents for so many things. But you've forgotten that the way you are growing now, they are also growing. Maybe the information you have now, they don't have it. They can only act based on the information stored in their mindset. So it's very important. I remember years ago when I used to run the market here in United Kingdom as a market trader. And I used to sell some of these inspirational frames and gifts and other things in the market. There's one particular frame that is like encouraging us to forgive one another. And here comes this woman with two children passing by my store. She saw that inspirational words, message, and she said to herself, and she also said it out loud, clearly for me to hear, I can never forgive my mom. She said it several times, I will never forgive my mom. That makes me to draw closer to her. And then I said, I don't need to know why you make these statements. I don't need to know why you say you are not going to forgive your mom. But one thing is clear, that as long as you realize that everybody has the right to make mistakes, our parents can make mistakes, our government can make mistakes, our friends can make mistakes, our children can make mistakes. So until we realize that it's so cool to make mistake. But when we learn from that mistakes, then we get better. I say, look at you now. You have two children, young children with you. And you're still talking. I'm 100% sure that you've denied the children to move closer or to even visit your mom. Which your mom is their grandmom, grandma. You see, so your own unforgiveness has denied those children. No matter what they have done in life, Only if we can believe that we all make mistakes. We have the right to make mistakes and to fall and to fail. By the time we had a few consultation with her, I'm not saying it for her to buy that gift. I'm saying for her to transform her mindset. A month later, she came back to the store. She was looking for that particular frame to buy and sent to her mom. I said, wow, what a great transformation. What happened? So when she got home that day, she was reasoning with what I have shared with her. And then she make up her mind that it is okay to be offended. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay. But don't stay there so long. Move on. Life is short. She talked about that. She thought about all these things. And then that changed her mindset. That changed her mind and her beliefs. And then she picked up the phone. That is how she narrated it with me. She picked up the phone for the first time after 20 years to phone her mom. And then when the mom picked up the phone, because mom don't even know who is phoning, guess what happened? The mom burst into tears. She also busted into tears. Both of them crying on the phone, exchanging words of forgiveness, asking one another, forgive me, forgive me. And then when that one was over, then she found peace in her lives, in her heart, in her mind. She found peace and joy and release. So that very day when she now came back, she told me she is traveling, she's bought her ticket, she's taking her children, traveling to that country and to visit her mom with her two girls. That's what we are talking about. So it's okay. But you have the ability to change it. You have the ability to change your mindset, to renew your mindset, and to grow with it with the right information. You have the ability to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Then the next one is progress trumps perfection every time. The more you are progressing yourself, the more you are getting better. It's so easy to get caught off with others' expectations that we forget that perfection is an unrealistic. By the time you are trying to perfect it, by the time you are making yourself, you want to present yourself as a perfect person, it's unrealistic. To be frankly with you, it's going to be bored, overwhelming, and at the end of it all, the more you are trying to be perfect, the more you will make mistakes. I've tried it before. When I wanted to be perfect, when I wanted to please people, the more I'm making mistakes. And guess what? The funniest part of it is that the people you are trying to please, they can only see your weakness. They can see your weakness. They can see your mistakes and how you are failing. So who are you pleasing? Be yourself and be the best of you. By shooting for perfection, you are setting yourself up for feeling like a crap. When you inevitably fall short, you will fall. You will continue making more mistakes. It's a better measure of how brilliant you are and how much you've grown up. Celebrate every small steps forward. Celebrate yourself where you are. Celebrate your relationship. Celebrate your spouse. Celebrate your union. Celebrate your marriage. Another inspirational nugget of wisdom I want to share with you again. You are good enough to try, and that's all you need. I've done that. I've done that side. Let's move on. The another one is don't go to sleep angry. Each night as a drift off to sleep. You have to make sure that you clear your mind. You never know what is going to happen the following day. We've seen millions of people going to bed. You went to bed with millions of people, but not everybody that went to bed went to sleep. Wake up in the morning. So clear your conscience, free yourself, and sleep well. The next one is don't blame yourself either. Don't blame yourself. Because sometimes you continue wasting your time blaming yourself, and then you can't forgive yourself. Keep blaming yourself. Keep blaming yourself. Oh, it's me. I cannot do this. Yeah, blaming will not work. All what you need to do is to assess the situation and find a way to correct it. But if you sit down a whole year blaming yourself and not forgiving yourself, you are hurting yourself. You are hard to yourself. You are being hard to yourself. So blaming yourself will not work. You can't blame others and you can't blame yourself. You just have to assess the situation and find a way to want to correct it. Then the next inspiration I'll get is take responsibility for your part. Don't just blame the other spouse. I said it yesterday. I explained it well yesterday. Take responsibility. Don't just assume that it's the other part that have messed everything up. Take responsibility. Removing blame means never assign responsibility to anyone else for what you are experiencing. Don't blame anybody. In a certain part of the country, when you ask some of the youth, the only thing they want to do is to blame this government, blame this teacher, blame this system, blame the... No. The question you need to be asking yourself if you are renewing your mindset is, what part can I take? What can I do personally to contribute to the growth or to solve the problem that is there? What part are you playing? The same thing with marriage. What part can you play to make it work? If you take responsibility for having this experience, then at least you have a chance to also take responsibility for removing it or learning from it. Yes. When you stop the blaming and you start asking yourself that I am here to solve a problem. I am here for a purpose. I am who I am. Okay, this is the problem of the nation. This is the problem of our locality. How can I contribute to solve the problem in that country or in that locality? Because it starts from the family. What are you thinking about you and your family? What are you doing in your family, in your home? What are you doing in your own environment? What are you doing even in their community? What are you doing for another's fellow, another human being? What have you been saying out? What have you been doing? Are you contributing in a good way or a bad way? So you have to start from somewhere. If your family is getting better, fine. That's part of the solution. Because if your family are good, none of your children will go out there and be used to make trouble. If there is good relationship with your neighborhood, you can join hands together and save the area. And many more there like that. So if you take responsibility for having the experience, then at least you have a chance to take responsibility for removing it. We are all talking about corruption. We are talking about people embezzle money. We are talking about people killing. We are talking about people doing all kinds of. We are talking about many people in drug pushing. We are talking about child trafficking. We are talking about so many problems in this world. Even our agriculture, our farm, our land, our resources, our money. It's good to talk about it a whole year and nothing to be done. But you need to start from you. You have to start from me. What I'm doing now, I'm challenging people. That's part of the system. That's part of how I can contribute in my own capacity. Challenging people to change their mindset. Challenging people to see outside the box. Challenging people to see beyond the situation, beyond the circumstances. Challenging people that they have leaders in them and they need to bring it out. Challenging people that they can build their relationship and make a better home, better family. Challenging young ones that whatever you are learning, you can also share it with others. You learn together. Challenging people that is all about you. If you are a leader, it's in two ways. You speak through your words and you also speak through your action. So how are you taking it? How are you responding? How are you taking life? How are you facing